Hey everyone, welcome to CueSoc's 9-ball competition final for 2019 trimester 3. Got a nice match here for you today. We've got, you can't see them on the table right now, but we've got Raycole Dai and Oliver Chang. And as always, commentating with me.
Hey guys, again it's Glanden. Once again, I played in this call and lost. So I'm here in the commentator's booth with Harris. Harris didn't play today.
This situation comes up for every competition.
Yeah, no, I'm literally in every single competition except I never get anywhere close to the finals. So yeah, I guess I'm bringing you guys this commentary instead. But yeah, so we have Oliver and Raycole both on the table at the moment. I think they're taking some nice photos for the camera. And it's like to break, right? For the first one. No.
So Raycole's a fourth year studying computer science. He's due to graduate, I think, after this try, so he'll be graduating this year. Raycole's played a number of competitions. He's always gotten to the finals, but he's never actually snagged a title for himself. So, you know, this could be the one. Who knows? He might win a competition on his last semester in CueSoc. He's also the president of CueSoc, so it'd be nice to see him take this title, no doubt. And we've also got Oliver, who is a second year studying civil engineering at UTS, I believe. And Raycole's from UNSW.
Yeah, so we'll see Oliver there finishing off the lag first. So while we're waiting for the break off, Oliver got through today by beating, let's see, while we pull up the draw. Oliver got through the first round. Oh, he had a bye the first round. And then he beat, I can only pronounce it in Chinese, but Xinze. And then he won that, was it? Sorry? No. What's this negative one?
Oh, I think it didn't turn up.
Oh, okay. So he got to buy the first 2 rounds. That's pretty fortunate. And then so that put him straight into the quarters. And in the quarters he beat Sagam 5-3, and in the semis he beat Guang 5-4 actually. Hill. Oh, sorry, no, that wasn't the semis. That was the quarters. And then finally in the semis, Oliver beat Ian 5-3. Now Ian actually had a really good tournament. Ian beat, I would say, our top seed for today, Leon Yao, pretty convincingly too. I think it was like 5-1 or 5-2 or something. So yeah, no, Ian had a really good tournament, so really good win there from Oliver as well, to get him into the finals. Now, just then, in case anyone wasn't familiar with that was a push out. So you're allowed to push out in the in 9-ball after the break, regardless of whether you sink or not, as long as it's your visit on the table. If it's the shot straight after the break, if you can't see the one or you don't like your shot on the one, you can potentially push out to a whatever position on the table, and through that, your opponent gets to choose whether they want to take the shot or they give the shot back to you. So the push out's actually a very, very strategic part of 9-ball, and it could make or break frames, I would say. Like, sometimes if you have a good push out and then you're able to land a safety on an opponent, then a lot of the time that gives you control of the frame. And often, you know, if we go up into like higher levels, pro levels, that often decides, you know, whether you win the frame or not. But anyway, as we see there, Oliver pushed out, and Raycole managed to make some sort of containing safety, which was good, which allowed him back onto the table now, and quite in control actually. He has a nice shot on the 3, made a really nice bank on the 2 just then. Ooh. I think it was a little straight on that one, so he tried to force the angle to come back out for the 4 into the middle of the table, which is basically where he got, but unfortunately he tried to force the pocket a bit too much. Nice shot there. Yeah, that was a really nice shot by Oliver because he wanted to land as straight as possible on that 4 to make sure it's a lot easier on him on the 6. That's a nice shot. Draw back out for the 9. Would you have put a little side on that one, Harris?
Yeah, well, maybe I would have gone top left.
Top left to come
Sort of
around
came off
through
the rail,
rails.
but
Yeah.
I think Oliver will be okay with cutting this.
Yeah, Oliver's a very, very good putter. As demonstrated there, very good putter, and obviously knows all sorts of advanced position play. So, yeah, no, really good first frame there.
So our format is race 7, 9 ball, winner breaks, and I think most players today are using a magic rack to rack as well.
Yeah, what's the purpose of a magic rack? Because actually a lot of beginners ask me, Harris.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys see what Oliver's using there, it's the little plastic triangle thing, which you use instead of the wooden triangle. All you're trying to do is keep the balls as tight as possible together so that when you break them, it's nice and crisp, and the impact of the break sends the balls, spreads them well over the table, and you're usually guaranteed a wing ball. We've actually gone over this in the previous 9 ball comp that me and Glanden commentated, but not sure if you'll see it here, but usually one of the wing balls, the 4 ball or the 8 ball there will probably go in the corner pockets at the bottom here, just like that. A little unlucky to scratch there, but yeah, that's the basic idea. Essentially, the magic rack is, I don't know, I'd say it's a pretty essential tool for 9 ball as opposed to 8 ball. Definitely adds a lot to the break, and make sure that you don't have a dead rack either, where there's no gaps between the balls and you have a bad spread.
Yeah, so yeah, basically all of what Harris said, very, very useful. Saves a lot of time actually. Saves a lot of time in pool, definitely. One of the big reasons why the magic rack got invented in the first place was obviously because of the reasons that Harris was talking about. A lot of the time in higher levels, a lot of players will spend sometimes a minute, nearly 2 minutes, especially in 9 ball, making sure that they have a tight rack, and a rack that plays to, I guess, to prediction. Not necessarily in terms of like a pattern rack, just a tight rack, and often that wastes a lot of time during match play. So that was also one of the big reasons why the magic rack was invented, just to save a lot of time, and also to just standardize the game. Anyways, so a bit of a safety battle here between Raycole and Oliver. I think Raycole's going for the 1 in the corner. Ooh, close. Played that with a degree of safety, which I think paid out. Played it down table to leave himself a long pot on the 2 if he did make the 1, but now the 1's kind of safe too. So do you want to go watch it? Do you want to go watch the shot? I'll just get Harris to watch the shot in case Oliver fouled, but no, that was very, very clean. Very, very clean. Bumped the 9 into a favorable position too, so ooh. I think Oliver might have taken his eyes off the pot there. I didn't expect him to miss that one that much.
So Raycole's landed just a little bit on the wrong side of the 3 here. He's going to have to come around the table now, probably. His angle's a little wide. If he can avoid the 6, I'd fancy him, drawing this out with bottom left, coming to just in front of where the 9 is. He's definitely drawing it. We'll see what he does here. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he took a completely different line, but he managed to get a bump on the 5, which is pretty lucky, I guess. And with the 9 being right there, I think I favor Raycole to win this frame. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Okay. Again, I think it's very, very much the same situation as Oliver earlier in the frame with the 2. I think he just took his eyes off the pot there, like assuming that it's a guaranteed pot. And for these players, it really is a guaranteed pot, but sometimes that's all it takes. for your opponent to regain control of the frame, and all of a sudden when, I would say, like, I would have bet my house on it, that Raycole had made that 5-9 combo. Thank God I didn't bet my house on it. But yeah, before you know it, all of a sudden, your opponent, and in this case Oliver, regains control on the table. So see what he does with the 6 here. I think I favor the 8 into our middle left pocket, from what we can see. Yep, that's what he went for. See if he has the pace. Yep, I think he's got it. That's a nice shot. Yep, and then to finish off the 9. So wow, what a turnaround there. We really would have expected Raycole to pot that 5-9 combo to win the game, but I guess it's 2-0 to Oliver now. So quick start by Oliver. And while we do that, we'll pull up how Raycole went today. So Raycole got a bye in the first round, and in the second round he had a commanding 5-0 win over Jiaqi Yang. And then in the third round he faced a very, very tough opponent, Matthew Mack, one of the really old school boys, in CueSoc. He's been around for a very, very long time. He hasn't been playing a lot of pool recently. I haven't seen him around at all. So he kind of came into this tournament without any sort of practice. But regardless, all credit to Raycole winning Hill 5-4 in the third round. And in the fourth round, Raycole played Patrick. Patrick was actually in our 9-ball league finals. So Patrick was definitely no walkover, but Raycole managed to win 5-2, which was a very good win. And in the semis, Raycole managed to beat Justin Chow, who I actually don't know much about. I think he is one of the... I guess that's another fluke there. Well, I don't know much about, but Justin looked very, very good. He looks like he came from some sort of snooker background. Very accurate putting, very nice position play, but I think maybe it's also because of the rust too that he may not have played at his level. But again, I'm definitely not discrediting Raycole right now, guys, but Raycole's obviously one of the top players in CueSoc as well, so he managed to get through Justin with a very convincing 5-3. So obviously credit where credit's due. And here he is with Oliver in the finals. So Oliver missing that 3 there, rattling it. Since his 3's on the rail, I actually fancy the rail first, but I don't know what Raycole's playing here. Seems like he's playing with some sort of draw. Oh, he is playing rail first. Oh. Yeah, no, see, the problem with rail first is you need to get that exact contact just before the rail, just next to the object ball, I should say, when you hit it with side. And if you don't judge your deflection on your cue properly, that's what happens. Funnily enough, that's how I lost one of my frames today, actually. I misjudged one of those rail first pots, and it was on the 9-ball. And I ended up rattling the ball, and and my opponent won the frame. Nice pot there by Oliver. I think he'll probably go 1 rail out. Yeah, 1 rail back out. Don't think he intended to bump the 8, but he's okay. He's still on the right side. Ooh.
Good speed.
Yeah, fairly safe. Played that with a degree of safety.
Not sure if the scratch is on, but here I'd probably play a bank of some sort. Play the speed so that if you miss the 8, wide, you can leave the cue ball down there and maybe leave the 8 behind the 9 or something like that. Because this is quite a tough cut if Raycole's going to go for it. And he's on the rail, so he can't really draw it out or anything.
Yeah, Oliver definitely played that with good speed, I think, with a good degree of safety. And funnily enough, Raycole and I were actually discussing not exactly the exact same shot, but we were discussing a similar shot to that, where the cue ball's down table and the object ball's very far up the table, and what we would do in those instances. I guess in that case, Raycole went for the pot, but he left a really easy pot for Oliver here, and I think Oliver should be able to take a 3-0 lead if. Yeah, that's an easy pot for Oliver. No problems there at all. So yeah, 9-ball goes really, really quickly, Harris.
3-0.
Yeah, and before we know it, it's already 3-0. So, why do you think that is, Harris? Why do you think 9-ball goes so quickly?
Well, I think we discussed this actually in the last final, Glanden. When
Yeah,
me and
we
you
did.
commentated
But just as a reminder
against,
to.
It was Grant and
else.
was it Grant and Nigel? But
You were talking about that match.
yeah, like this was 2 trimesters ago. But
Yeah.
to reiterate, right? Pretty much what we said is that 9-ball goes so quickly because A, you're often guaranteed a ball on the break, so it means you can stay in the table and run out balls a lot easier than in 8-ball. B, there's only 9 balls, so there's a lot less balls to run, and also if you pot balls off the table, it shortens the rack for both you and your opponent, not just you, where it's the case in 8-ball, right? If you run out your own balls, your opponent still has to run out their group, right? But in 9-ball, you're both running the same balls, and I think you'll find that throughout this match, the frames will go pretty quickly. Like even now, for instance, Oliver's got a.
I don't think you can see the one, but he managed to get 2 balls on the break.
Exactly. Even if we take the break as an example, already 25% of the balls are gone from the table, and that's one of the reasons why 9-ball goes so quickly and why we're already at 3-0. So yeah, I think we've preached this a lot before as well, Glanden. Me and you always stay in control of the table when you're in 9-ball, and momentum is the most important thing.
That's right.
Potting your way out of stuff can work to a degree, but table control and having your momentum and being confident in your stroke is like the most important thing, especially at this level.
100%. And yeah, that's why the game goes so quickly, because if your opponent at this level can take control of the table before you know it, and definitely I think the momentum's definitely on Oliver's side right now. Like we see, I think Raycole's probably a little cold. I think it's definitely not warmed up because of how long he's been sitting down for most of the time, because of Oliver taking control of the previous frames for the most part, I guess. And I think and Raycole having to resort to play to a safety here.
Nice try there. He tried to get behind the 7. That was definitely a correct shot to play. Just underpaced it a little, so Oliver's got to look at the 2.
Yeah, curious to see what corner he's going to pot it in, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the bottom right corner. Yeah, it looks like it. Ooh, wow. I think that goes, actually. Yeah, no, that goes. Yeah, I think the 2 peaks out. And Raycole's able to see that. Now, the problem with this is that once he pots the 2, the cue ball is going to end up hitting the 5. And depending on what he plays this with the limited angle that he has, it just depends on how he bumps the 5. Yeah. So he decided to kind of run into it quite hard, try to get a roll. Didn't exactly work out, but this is, again, I think he has a very easy safety to stick the cue ball behind the 8. That's right, yeah. And again, guys, this is what we're talking about, maintaining control over the table. Yep, I think that's what he... Ooh. He needed a bit of side on that, I think, to go 2 rails behind the 8.
Yeah, either a thinner hit or a bit of side spin would help that stick.
Yeah. I definitely would have used a bit of side, because if you use side and use 2 rails, it can go into the line of the 8. And even if you bump the 8 a little, you're most likely going to stay behind it, given where the 5's landed. But, yeah. Oh, very nice pot.
Nice little kiss on the 6 there as well.
Yeah. So again, Oliver seeming to have full control over the table, getting the rolls as well, getting the position. Actually, as I say that, I may have jinxed it. I think he's really, really straight on this ball. So we'll see what he does. Yep, he tried to stun it out. With very good success, actually. I think that was the best shot you could have played in that instance. Oh, I think Oliver intended to draw that one, Harris. I definitely don't think he would have stunned it.
Yeah.
He was meant to stun. Maybe he was playing for the pot. Ended up quite safe there, actually. definitely potable, but definitely not an easy shot either.
Yeah, another, semi-favorable role for Oliver. Raycole's just got I'd play this, medium pace, because if you play it too light, then 9 would just end up over the pocket. Just don't baby this. That's how I play this.
Yeah. And then I guess even if you miss it, you try to rely on a roll. Oh, Raycole did. Oh, he's gotten the Oh. Oh, okay. That was, a lot of tension right
I was
there.
definitely hoping that wouldn't go in, because if that went in, I think Raycole would be on full tilt at that point.
Yeah, 100%. And the momentum would have been fully on Oliver's side. And from there on, I think the momentum might have even been too much already. Because 4-0 for Oliver is more than half of the race already there. He's more than 50% there, while Raycole hasn't even gotten the frame. So that was definitely much needed.
Yeah, that was definitely the break Raycole needed. And now I hope to see, because he's breaking now as well, as we were saying before, hopefully he'll make some balls and string some pots together, get back into stroke.
Yeah, 100%. Really interesting break here, breaking from not the usual spot, I would say, for 9-ball. I think he played for impact there, Harris, and he managed to get not the most favorable shot on the 1, but I think depending on the angle, if he hits the 4 right, the 4 will bounce out of the way and his cue ball will stay around the 3.
Yeah, he'd love
for the 2.
He'd love to hit it full ball.
Yeah,
so that
but
the 4 just gets out of there.
Yeah, but the cut on the 1 is very, very thin, so he'll have to hit this with pace. Could opt for a safety here, actually.
Would you play thin off the 1? I'd go thin off the 1 on the right side. Maybe come down behind the 8 or the 9 if you're going to play safe.
Yeah.
I think he's going for the cut here.
Yeah, okay, that actually worked out basically exactly what we were thinking it would, except for the fact that Raycole missed the 1. But I think if he made the putt, he would have gotten a very similar result. So that was, I think that was what we were discussing, Harris.
Pretty open table here for Oliver. He's just got to watch out that he doesn't land too wide on the 2 here, because the 1's pretty thin. I'd probably check this, put a bit of check side on it.
Yep, that's exactly what Oliver did. Check side 2 rails, and he's got a very, very favorable angle on the 2. I think the key shot here is, probably the 6 to the 7. The 4 to the 6 isn't exactly hard because the 4's right over the pocket. As we say that, Oliver actually lands on the other side of the... Right, okay, so he played that 4 off the 6. Great shot there, a little kiss on the 8 as well to get him back into position. Then now the rack's wide open. Oh, he can see it. Yeah, so that was the key shot. If the 6 stayed where it was, then that would have been, I think, a major problem to go from the 6 to the 7. But because of how Oliver opened up the table, that was great.
That was insane.
That was actually insane, yeah.
So Oliver
straight draw back down. Definitely in stroke. Yeah.
Recompensating for that draw that he didn't do before.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I think he's overpaced the 9. Overpaced the position for the 9, I should say. Wow, what a shot. Yeah, I think undoubtedly Oliver, has the huge momentum there. You can just see him like hitting more and more confidently, while with Raycole he's taking a lot more time on his shots. And I think that's it goes back to what we were saying about maintaining control over the table. Oliver, right now has complete control, and it almost feels like, Harris, and I've experienced this on the receiving end as well, but sometimes even when you're on the table, you don't feel like you're in control. Yeah. That's definitely what I feel right now with Raycole. When he's on the table, it doesn't necessarily feel like he's in control. It feels like Oliver is still somehow affecting affecting how the game goes. Even though Raycole, he should have complete control, right? So really interesting there. The break's working great for Oliver as well. Potted the wing ball. Didn't exactly control the cue ball too well, but I think he still has a shot on the one. And with the 3 over the pocket,
you reckon he'll go for the comment?
I'm not sure actually. I can't really. Well, from where we are at the commentators booth, we can't really tell. But
I'd probably thin the 1 here. Go behind the 9. That was a pretty nice shot.
Yeah, that was. I don't know if he intended to play that, but regardless, he's safe, relatively safe, and I think Raycole will have to go for the bank here.
I would probably play thin off the right side of the 1, come behind the 9 again.
Yeah,
nice
no,
bank.
he had a
No,
big
he had a big
pocket.
pocket,
Yeah, that's right. Another recovery shot needed here on the 2. I will probably try to play this even with a bit of right to try and come on the right side of the 3 because the 3 is right next to the side pocket. Ooh, okay, yeah, that works too.
One rail out here for the 4, just above the side pocket there.
Yeah, he needs to make sure he leaves himself an angle on the 4 though. A lot of players I see do this thing where they only position for the ball after. And in 9 ball, one of the gospels, at least that I follow, to 9 ball, is to always position 3 balls ahead. On the current shot, so for example, currently when Oliver's there, he needs to know where the cue ball has to be when he hits the 5 ball. And same here. After this 3 ball, Raycole should know what side of the 4 ball he's getting onto in order to get on the 5, if that makes sense. So always thinking 3 balls ahead here. That's very, very important. Alright, I think the roles have started to come about for Oliver. Oh, sorry, for Raycole. So maybe this is a momentum shift, actually.
I think if Oliver can't see the left side of 3, he'll probably kick behind the 3. But if he can come thin off the 3 and come back to the end of the sweep.
Oh, wow.
And he was pretty lucky there because the...
Again, he got a roll.
The cue ball killed off the end rail. I don't know if you guys saw, but it definitely died. And left the 3 ball in a nice spot behind the 5 there.
Yeah, no, I think it rattled in the pocket. Oh, did it? Oh, no. I think the side might have, killed the
It killed
cue
itself,
ball.
yeah. Probably another... Really kick off the top left here. Try and come either thin off the 3 or come behind it and send it back up behind the 9.
Kicking is so important in rotation because of the availabilities for safeties to practically always be available, since there's only one ball to hit. Being able to kick well and actually controlling at least what side of the object board that you're kicking at, and to control that is very, very important as well. And it's an aspect of the game that I think a lot of players actually neglect, especially because in 8 ball, everyone plays 8 ball, and in 8 ball there are so many options that no one really develops a skill to kick very well. So, but it's definitely something that's very, very important in rotation type games like 9 ball and 10 ball, where you have to hit the balls in order. So there's only one ball on the table that you can hit without fouling, obviously, and at the same time, interesting shot there, actually.
So yeah, Oliver playing for the side. I think his angle on the 4 was a little funny to get on the other side, so he'll probably just float this in or come around the 8.
Yep, so he went around the 8. The pacing's okay. I think he'll be able to draw this out. Soft drawer, leave himself a long pot on the 8. Yep, just like that. And then, given how confident Oliver's stroking, he can leave himself that pot and still feel confident that he can maintain control over the table. Nice shot there. Wow, perfect pace, Harris. He's practically dead straight on the 9. Wow, what a shot. What a shot. You know, maybe I do say this to jinx it, Harris. But and hopefully I say it as a commentator's curse, just for the sake of Raycole. But Raycole's finished second countless times, guys. And I think in a way, I really want Raycole to kind of win this one. Nothing against Oliver, obviously, but I really kind of want to see Raycole come out on top for once.
Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely, it's not the last comp of the year.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to see Raycole take a title for himself because he's put in so much work for it.
Yeah, and I think Raycole is definitely straight up one of the top players in CueSoc, you know, and he has been for a very, very long time. But it almost seems like it's just a curse, like he just always comes runner-up, you know? And not, you know, expressing any sort of pity, anything, but I think it would just be really good to see Raycole win. So, and I mean, it's not over until it's over. It's 5-1 right now.
What a break.
Yeah, okay, now...
Insane, right?
Yeah, but that 7, I think, has just sneaked past and in front of the cue ball in the very, very last second.
It's a difficult push out here.
I think Oliver just realized. He's like, what's going on here? But
difficult position to push out since anywhere you go, the 2 is going to be potable.
Where
so
would
I'd
you push out to?
You know, I'd push out just behind the 7. Just go a little bit further behind the 7, take the kick, or give it to Raycole.
I would actually, I would push out to the bottom rail. Because if I push out right to the bottom rail, I think my opponent will give it back. And at the same time, I think, especially if I'm Oliver in this instance, I think I will fancy myself the bank. Oh, I think he wasn't meant to hit the 5 there.
Was that a push?
Yeah, that was a push, yeah. But I think, yeah, if I left the cue ball down on the bottom rail, I think I will go for the bank. And going for the bank also has a degree of safety to it, because my cue ball will end up table for the 3, while the 2 might end up somewhere around where the 5 is now if I miss the bank. But regardless, moving on.
Nice shot from Raycole, leaving plenty of angle. I think it's a little wide if he wants to come to the bottom right hand side of the table here. So maybe if he wants to play top, I'd put it like a slight bit of left and come back to the bottom right here. Either that or he's got to come for the short side of the 5, you know, in his bottom left half. But the problem with that is there's such a small window to land on the 5. We'll see how he tries to deal with it. What a shot. Oh, excellent shot. He did your shot, Glanden. The reverse cut 3 rails.
Oh,
the one that you love, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, no, I think a little bit unlucky on the pace because the line was really great for Raycole to end up on a favorable position, but he's still a little out of place right now. I think he could potentially pot the 5 and bump into the 9, and depending on his pace, he should hold his cue ball for the 6.
He just doesn't want the 9 to land in front of his cue ball.
Oh, okay. So he actually avoided the 9. So I think I misjudged the angle there a little bit. If the 6 goes in the middle, I think we will still go from there. Otherwise, I think Raycole might have to opt for a safety here.
Maybe a bank to the top left.
If Raycole wants to be aggressive, yeah. I think... actually, this is what I was going to mention before, Harris. About... when we were... About us discussing 9-ball in general. About us discussing 9-ball in general. Oh, Raycole went for the cut there. I was actually watching our commentary of the 9-ball league finals between Patrick's team and Michelle's team. Yeah, so it was me XD versus Uwu XD. I still remember because I was watching this yesterday. But wow, oh wow, bit too in stroke there. I think Oliver just went for it. But yeah, I think if Raycole doesn't clear up on this frame, I think the race is basically definitely over. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, Raycole again is very, very favored to clear this up. Giving him a bit of time to make sure that he's okay and he doesn't do anything stupid. But he's very, very favored to make this clear this up. Anyway, as I was saying before, I was actually watching our commentary of the CueSoc 9-ball, and we went into a lot of game theory about in depth about kind of 9-ball being a very fast-paced game, which is why I kind of brought up that question again. Oh, nice shot there. Very well controlled. But yeah, which is why I kind of brought up the question again just then about why 9-ball so fast, just to kind of give our audience a bit of a recap on the game. But actually at the same time, okay, so 5-2 to Raycole here. He did manage to clear that up, which is much needed, I would say, to kind of get himself back in stroke. And hopefully if he gets a good break off this, he can continue that momentum and try to slowly regain control back of the table. But yeah. What was I talking about? I actually forgot.
League, the final.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, I was gonna make a PSA about our CueSoc League channel. Harris on YouTube has actually been uploading a lot more of our CueSoc member races, just during the time when everyone's here, or whoever in CueSoc is here. So we are actually expanding our YouTube channel not just to tournaments now. We are actually recording races of our CueSoc members if they want to be recorded. And big shout outs to Harris, obviously, for offering the service. Got a new phone recently, got a lot of storage, got a better camera. So he's offering this, I think, as a very good learning process for the players being recorded, as well as being able to provide you guys with more content. A lot of our top players regular City Heroes, I should say. So we'll have a lot of the top players in CueSoc being able to present you, being able to, give you guys a good show, I guess, on the YouTube channel.
Probably thin off the one here for Raycole if he's not frozen. Unless he wants to push. If he's frozen, I think he'll push out. If he's not frozen, maybe thin off the one, send the one sort of either behind the 6 or just off the side rail to near where the 8 is. But maybe he's looking to push towards the end rail here. Can't really see if he's frozen or not.
Yeah, I actually favor hitting it from the other side, Harris. Hitting it from the bottom side and really trying to get that one between the 2 and the 6. And then while getting the cue ball down there, because yeah, you see with that, when he thins the 1-ball, when he's that close to the 1-ball and he thins the 1-ball that way, it's really hard to control the cue ball. But if I hit it the other way from the bottom up, the 1-ball basically ends up on the left rail as well, but I actually have a lot more cue ball to work with. Hitting off top rail, side rail, and maybe end up trying to get the cue ball behind the 9 or something. Regardless, that was a good line. Very high chance for Oliver to land a safety, which he did. And I think Raycole is resorting to pulling up his jump cue and jumping the ball. Jumping over the 2-ball in order to try and make this pot.
Just has to be careful he doesn't jump off the table. If he hits the rail, the cue ball is going to jump off the table. He needs to keep it on the table. And also his object ball that he's jumping over is a little far in front of him, so he's definitely got to control that as well.
Yeah, definitely not an easy shot by any means. Oh, wow. Again, that was a great shot. That was
insane.
That was actually insane.
Reminded me of the shot that Albin played, World Cup of Pool. Where
Yeah. No, that's right. Yeah.
This might be a similar shot where Raycole really needs to be careful of if the cue ball's going to hop up on that rail or even contact that rail so it doesn't go off the table.
Raycole definitely needs to jack up a lot higher for this one, but just to get a shorter jump. But at the same time, if he pots the 2 this time, I don't think there's any ball in the way for him to get guaranteed position on the 3. Just then he was a bit unlucky kind of bumping into the 5-ball, but he managed to get a good hit. Did not get any sort of roll. I think I would favor Oliver to pot the 2 here. End up on the right rail with this cue ball. Stun out on the right rail with this cue ball to roll down for the 4. Yep, exactly that. And then roll down for the 4. So unfortunately, no momentum swing there. Because I think if Raycole captured that frame, it would definitely be some sort of momentum swing.
I think Oliver just checking twice to see that he'll bump the 9 correctly here.
Oh, did he get himself into the 5-9? No. He left himself a long pot on the 5. Which is a bit of a pickle here.
He's got a nice angle to come back down table onto the right side of the 6.
Yeah, I actually can't tell from this angle. From this angle, he looked like he was really straight on the ball. Which is why I said he was in a little bit of a pickle. But, yeah. Yeah, no, Oliver definitely tried to cheat the pocket a little. Try to create an angle from that shot, but he didn't seem to get it. So depending on this ball, I think Raycole should be able to capture this frame. Oh.
Very unlucky.
Yeah, I think he just tried to hold it there. Just to get on the right side of the 6, just so that he can kind of have a pot at it and continue the frame. But I think he should have let his stroke out on that one, Harris. I think he should have let his stroke out, used a couple more rails to come back up table instead of trying to hold it. And I think that's advice that a lot more people should take on. To get yourself in stroke, you should definitely incorporate a lot more rails. For example, on that shot right there from Oliver, I definitely don't think he needed to draw that one rail in and back out. But he's very much in stroke right now, and to get himself in stroke, and kind of to keep himself in stroke, I should say, he decided to play a little bit of an exhibition style of a shot on the 8, draw it right back out, and land it perfect on the 9 anyway. So, yeah, no, definitely a good way to maintain control over the table as well. Keep yourself in stroke. Use a lot more rails. Go for some fancy positioning, because it grows your confidence. And in a way, it actually threatens the opponent a little bit too. If they see you that confident, it definitely plays a toll on their mental.
Dare I say it, Glanden, the golden break.
No, I think with the Magic Rack, Harris, it's very, very hard to get a golden break. But speaking of golden breaks, actually, we were using a Magic Rack. You guys can actually check it out. The doubles match. Me, Glanden, and Legend against Harris and Jonathan. So Harris and Jono, they are, as you guys might know, they won the Scotch doubles for CueSoc in April. But if you watch me and Legend play against Harris and Jonathan, it was a very, very funny match. We decided to play 9-ball, and even with a Magic Rack, Legend managed to get 2 golden breaks. And the funny thing is, especially in 9-ball, the Magic Rack is meant to prevent golden breaks, and Legend still managed to get 2. So that was very funny there. But again, the Magic Rack served its purpose at the beginning of this frame, and there was no golden. Oh, right into the line of the 2-ball. That was insane. Oliver's so in stroke right now, it's actually ridiculous. And he's a little too in stroke, actually. He landed dead straight on the 2. But I think if he stuns the 2 here, he ends up above. Oh, he rolls it. Oh, no way. He just fouled. No, he just fouled, yeah. I was going to say, if he stunned it, I think he would have just ended up on the top side of the 3. And that would have been easy position to get down on the 4 at the bottom. Again, what we were talking about planning 3 balls ahead. But, yeah, no, needless to say, I think Oliver was a little too casual there. Being up 6-2, I think his confidence is obviously very, very big right now. And I think he kind of just let it get away from him a little bit there. See what Raycole does here.
I think he'll play for the side. He just needs to be wary of the speed here. Doesn't want to travel too far. Just because he wants the position on the 3 to be easy so he can get to the 4.
Yeah.
Just double checking the angle into the side. You'd love to be a little bit above. If you draw a line from the side pocket to the 3, you'd love to be a little bit above that. only like by a centimeter, so you can just float down for the 4. But definitely a tough shot to control the speed, especially since the 2 is right over the pocket.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I guess this side works too, because I think then he'll have the whole side of the table to work with. If he goes up table, hits the top rail first, and then uses a bit of left to spin it around the 8, and come between the 8 and the 9, I think that would definitely work. I think Raycole's going for the pot in the upper left corner. Yeah. I think he was trying to play that pot while going 3 rails back down for into the 4. But not gonna lie, he missed that by a mile. It was definitely a hard shot, but he landed okay, I think.
I think Oliver can see a piece of this 3.
Yeah, so playing for distance there. I think Oliver ended up getting safe too. So
another nice shot here where if you get the kick right, you can come off the top left rail, and the top rail come under the 3 or on top of the 3, and send it down table towards the 9-4. Obviously that's an ideal shot, but it's definitely hard to control the spin and the speed there. But that's what I'm seeing, Glanden. Come behind the 3, send it up table, and just leave the cue ball down there.
yeah,
Oh, he's jumping.
that's a hard jump, man. Like the cue ball's really well in the table. Yeah, it's hard to get elevation when the cue ball's that far in on the table. The only thing he has going for him is that the object ball is relatively far away. The object ball that he has to jump over, so I think he doesn't have to elevate as much. Yeah. So he managed to get a good solid hit there. Did he end up safe? I think he did.
Probably slightly thin on the 3. Okay, Oliver's just firing it.
I think Oliver's confidence is at an all-time high right now, which is fair enough. His line was great. Like, he actually did end up on the 4, except, he didn't pot the 3 because he kind of just two-stroked it.
Wouldn't be surprised if Raycole plays a little 2-way here, trying to pot it, come thin off the 3, and again, just come back down table. That 9-4 is pretty big, or that 5 is pretty big if you consider the line. Played it the other way. That's a nice
Played
shot.
for distance there.
Played for the object ball to come up instead of the cue ball. That's nice. I think Oliver would probably just cut this.
Yeah, I think he played for distance. And once again, the line that he played was great. Even though Raycole can see it, this is definitely not an easy pot by any means. Oh! Good kick there. I think one of the biggest tells of Oliver being in stroke is when he just fires everything and just feathers like once or twice, and this was something I wanted to mention before actually, Harris, but if you watch, oh wow, what a shot. Good use of the pocket there as well. Cheated the pocket a little bit so he could come out on the side rail and have the cue ball grip on the long rail to come back down. But yeah, I was going to mention this, Harris, but the amount of thinking that Raycole's doing right now, it's actually a lot more than usual.
Oliver's on the hill, right?
That's right, yeah. While at the same time, no, but I think it's been like this since the beginning of the match,
That's true.
Yeah, and at the same time, Oliver's kind of come into the match, guns blazing. And it's for me, it's just funny seeing how pressure can really get to a player, you know. And like same here, with the momentum definitely being on Oliver's side, we can see a change in playing style and a change in kind of the rhythm, I should say, of the players. A change in the rhythm of the players. Normally, Raycole gets down a lot faster than this. And meanwhile, Oliver's actually completely in rhythm. And if anything, going down even faster than how he normally plays because of how confident he is. So it's very interesting to see this dynamic as well.
So Raycole doesn't want to get behind the 8 or the 9. I think he'll play past the halfway mark here. Yeah, no, that was a good shot. He's kind of unlucky on the roll there. Oh, he scratched. Okay. But definitely the key to that shot was getting past halfway of the table so you don't get snookered behind the 8 or 9, but it's quite unlucky to scratch on the side there.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure what he played on the cue ball on the previous shot. I couldn't really see it from my angle. But yeah, very unlucky to scratch in the side. A scratch in the side, I feel like, is always an unlucky scratch, to be honest. Especially if you putt off the top rail and end up scratching into the side, you know.
Yeah, interesting shot here. Raycole's definitely got to predict the acceleration off the end rail here, because it's so thin.
Yeah.
I'd probably hit this a little thicker. Maybe a slight bit of left, come middle of table.
Funnily enough, if I was in this situation, I would actually really try and let my stroke out. I'll try to thin the 7 so it just goes in, and then play it with like a bit of right, so top right, go up table around the 8, and then potentially going back around the 9 as well. So going top rail, then right side rail above the 9, and then around back for the 8 in the top corner. I think just because of the situation that I'm in with Raycole right now, like, I think I would definitely try and really, really let my stroke out. Just to use a couple more rails, just because I have nothing to lose, you know, if I was in his situation. Holding the ball, trying to play soft on the ball just gets you more out of stroke, like we were discussing before, Harris.
Makes you tense up, makes you really quite timid on the table.
Yeah.
But, I mean, his angle's okay here. He's just got to pot this, and then I think he'll be fine on the 9.
This is definitely not a shot that you want to take when you're not in stroke. And yeah, he just managed to make it. Great shot there.
What a shot under the pressure as well.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. Very, very nice there.
Funny thing as well, Glanden, we had a lot of matches occur today where a lot of players would be at a 4-0 deficit. I think there are about 3 matches that happened like this, where a lot of players were 4-0 down and then they would end up coming back 5-4. We definitely had at least 3 or 4 matches that happened today, so definitely can't count it out of this match happening where Raycole makes that comeback.
Yeah, I know Raycole did that to Matthew Mack today, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Matthew was up 4-1 today, and then Raycole ended up winning 5-4. So, again, it always goes back to the same things, Harris. Like, when we're commentating, it always goes back to the same things. Like, just because of the fact that I think, you know, like, pool isn't really that hard at the end of the day. Okay, that sounded so conceited. I'm sorry, guys, but I think at the end of the day, it all comes down to some certain fundamentals that I think if everyone sticks to, you know, everyone will be able to get to the level of the 2 players we see on screen right now. You know? That was a great shot. Natural position, but nonetheless, like a really great pot there. Because it was definitely not easy to execute.
He's pretty straight on the 3 here. I wouldn't be surprised if Raycole maybe rolls this in and holds for just that short side of the 4, as in sort of on this bottom rail here. If he rolls any further, the 9's going to be, you know, in the way. So definitely the speed is pretty important here.
This is a shot that I've been trying to do for a while, actually. But depending on the pace and where he hits on the cue ball, Raycole can actually play like a stun run through here, where he'll hit the ball actually with quite a lot of pace. But because the cue ball will have just a little bit of a forward slide, he'll hit it, and then the cue ball will actually just dribble forward and allow him position on the 4. But regardless, not a bad leave actually, with the 4 being there and with Oliver being under the 3 ball, being under the 3 ball from the 3 balls line to the pocket. Definitely not an easy pot to get on the 4. Well, unless he does that, I guess. Far out. Nice bank there. No hesitation too, Harris. No hesitation. Straight up just went in for the bank. And good way to play this, actually. Really, really good way. I think Oliver genuinely played for the 5 down in the corner. In the bottom left corner. And because of that, even when he missed here, it was a very, very easy 2-way. And it's a very, very smart shot to play, which forces Raycole to jump. And this one here. I think it's a little off. Yeah. Oh. Not actually that easy to get on the 5 right now.
Yeah, I'd probably hold for the top half here for the side.
Okay, I think he kind of just sent it with a bit of left and got a nice bump. I think Oliver's tensing up a little here.
Yeah,
I think he had a little bit of a jab. Oh my goodness, okay, never mind, the momentum has not shifted. Because the thing is, right, I feel like going on to what I was saying before, he's jabbing at the ball a little bit now, you know, like he's not stroking it as much as he is before. And I thought that 6-7 would have put him back in to stroke, but again, on the stroke, I feel like he just jabbed at that 6 ball a little bit, you know, and that little jab could throw your cue ball off the line of what you were intending, I should say.
Little underpace from Raycole there, wanted to come above the 9.
Yeah, again, it's kind of babying the shot, you know, when you're not in stroke. That's often what happens. Funny thought that always occurs to me, at least, when I play, is if I'm not in stroke, I'm scared to overpace the ball. And so I always end up underpacing every single time. I always end up just touching the ball as if I'm scared it'll go somewhere that I don't think it'll go, you know what I mean? So yeah, very interesting dynamic when players are on the table.
Is he playing the bank here?
I think he would have to. Oh, what's the leave? Oh, I think this is the... Actually, funnily enough, in the match where Ian was playing our top seed Leon, Ian had a similar shot, but he ended up butchering it. So hopefully Oliver doesn't do that, and he didn't. Very nice. There we go. Oliver commanding 7-3 win. Commanding. Because I think mainly attributing to Raycole not being able to get that 5-9 all the way up at the second frame, you know. If Raycole got that, it would have been a very different story. And that was definitely a huge shift of momentum onto Oliver's side. And then from there, it kind of just stayed in Oliver's grasp, you know. But anyway, Harris?
Yeah, definitely, like we said, a short race. 9 ball is one of those quicker formats. What are we sitting at? We're sitting under just under an hour,
yeah.
Or about an hour here. But yeah, another day, another competition, Glenn.
Yeah, 100%. And we'll look forward to bringing you more commentaries and videos. And definitely look out for more of those recorded races of just our CueSoc members as well. If you guys watch the top players that play, you know, for example, Harris's race against Jake, that was uploaded recently. Those are 2 very good players in CueSoc, especially Harris. You know, you guys know Harris. He's won a couple of the CueSoc comps already. So definitely a lot to learn by watching our top CueSoc players as well. So watch out for that.
Yeah, so thanks to the sponsors. We've got Mikarin, World Square. I think we're going to go for lunch there, actually. Also, UNSW for funding the society. And also
City Heroes.
City Heroes, yeah.
100%. Otherwise,
City Heroes, we're all always here. We all enjoy, pool at this place, and it's a nice venue to be able to host our events.
Yeah, honestly, like, please come around. You know, like, City Heroes is a great community. I think all of my core friends right now are all from, CueSoc, from when I met at City Heroes. So feel free to come around, guys.
So next comp is Snooker,
Yes.
which will be next Saturday. What is that? The 12th? 12th of October?
Yeah.
Will you be coming along, Glanden? I don't know. I feel like we're both very
Non-snooker
non-snooker commentators
yeah,
and
are.
players, right? So
Yeah.
we definitely have less game knowledge on that game than we do on normal pool.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think we're very much pool players.
Yeah, but we'll have snooker recorded. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll get Raycole or some snooker player to commentate.
If Raycole's not in the final.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
All right. See ya.